Okay, good morning children. How are you all? Yes. Again today we are going to learn a science lesson only we will do. Science lesson only we will do today because we were doing that lesson. It's still incomplete. We have to complete small portion of that lesson, isn't it? What was the lesson that we were doing? Food, health and hygiene. What was the lesson we were doing? That's food, health and hygiene. What was the lesson? Food, health and hygiene, isn't it? So this was the lesson which we were doing. So in this lesson we have learned about the health, we have learned about the food and its components, isn't it? Then we learned about water, how important water is to our body, isn't it? Because 70% of our body weight is water. So in that way we learned about water. Then we learned about the roughage. Roughage is the undigested part of the plant food that helps to clean our digestive system. So in that way we learned about roughage. We were learning about exercises, how exercise is important to our body, isn't it? How exercise is important. We were learning that one. Then we learned about the cleanliness. We learned about the correct posture. Yes, correct posture means how you have to stand, how you sit, how you lie down, how you walk. So the way you walk, the way you sit, everything will affect you and it will give you a good appearance. At the same time, you will not have any type of back pain or any type of muscular pain. So in that way, you have to maintain a correct posture. Then we learned about the cleanliness. How important is cleanliness? You have to keep everything clean. In that way, next we learned about rest. How rest is important to our body, isn't it? We have to take rest at least for 10 hours. We have to get a good sleep for at least 8 hours, isn't it? In that way, we discussed about the rest also. Next, we came to diseases. So, when we are learning about diseases, we learned about communicable diseases and non-communicable diseases. So, next, in that previous class, we have learned about the communicable diseases. Now, what are these communicable diseases? That means we learned about non-communicable diseases, right? Yes. So, non-communicable diseases means they don't get transmitted from one person to another person. So, in that way, we have learned about the non-communicable diseases, and these are also called as deficiency diseases. We discussed, isn't it? Any deficiency of component in your diet will lead to this type of diseases. If you are not taking that proper component in your food, if your food is lacking that component, you will get that type of disease, and that is called as deficiency diseases, isn't it? In addition to deficiency diseases, we learned means with separate diseases we discussed. If your deficiency of vitamin A will cause night blindness, vitamin B will cause some very disease, vitamin C will cause scurvy, deficiency of vitamin C, and for that you have to eat different food items like green leafy vegetables, fish, egg, carrot, milk. So in that way, if you take all this, you will be rectified with that problem. In addition to this, there were other diseases that we discussed was allergies, isn't it? Allergies, and if you are dusting something, cough and sneeze, you start. That means your body is not suited to that. Even if you eat any food material that doesn't suit your body, that is also an allergy. So then we learned about obesity also. Obesity means taking too much of food, becoming excessive fat. So anything too much is too bad. So in that way, so that leads to, if you are eating too much, any junk food too much, that will lead to obesity. That means you become very fat. So in that way, we have learned about the non-communicable diseases. Obesity is not transferred from one person to another or not transmitted from one person to another because it totally depends upon your food habits. Yes or no? So in that way, it is also a non-communicable disease. So we discussed everything regarding the non-communicable diseases. Now let us learn about communicable diseases. Let us learn about communicable diseases. So today's topic is communicable diseases. Now, what are these communicable diseases? These communicable diseases, they get transmitted from an ill person to a healthy person. They get transmitted from a sick person to a healthy person. Now, how are these transmitted from from a sick person to a healthy person. That we will discuss now. Now, there are different agents that carry the disease-causing germs from a sick person to a healthy person and make that healthy person sick or make that healthy person become sick. Now, let us learn what are the agents that do or that transmit this type of diseases. Those are food and water. First thing is food and water. Now, what happens here is flies sit on uncovered food, right? Flies, you know, flies. So, when they sit on uncovered food, what happens? They leave the germs that are sticking to their legs on their food items. Isn't it? If a healthy person eats that type of food, he or she eats that type of food, the disease-causing germs enter their body. You understand? So, in that way, they cause disease. Not only that, water. Drinking water also must be clean. If they drink, there are certain diseases that are transmitted by this contaminated water. Drinking polluted water also transmits some diseases like cholera, typhoid, and jaundice. So food and water, if you eat uncovered food, flies sit on uncovered food and they transmit some germs there, and if you eat that type of food, you will get some certain diseases. So even by drinking contaminated water, you may get certain type of diseases. For example, cholera, typhoid and jaundice are transmitted to contaminated water, polluted water, water containing some disease-causing germs. Now, cholera means vomitings, diarrhea, loose stools you will have, isn't it? So that is cholera. Typhoid is a type of fever where you get headache, nausea. Nausea means you get the vomiting sensation. So in that way, you will have headache, muscular pain, fever. Next is jaundice. What is jaundice? Jaundice means your nails or your eyes, they turn a bit yellow in color, and when you are passing urine also, it will be very dark yellow in color. So means what happens here is your liver will not be functioning properly. So when your liver is not able to function properly, your body will not able to digest fats. That is why when you get jaundice, they are asked not to take any fatty food, isn't it? Very light food you are asked to take. Just buttermilk, rice or steamed food like idli. Idli also with the chutney, you should not take it again. In that way, these are the diseases that are transmitted by this food and water, and the diseases that are caused here are cholera, typhoid and jaundice. Now let us learn the diseases that are transmitted through air. Now next one is air. Now, when you cough or when you sneeze, what will happen? Germs come out of it. Isn't it? The same person who is sitting by the side of you, if you breathe that type of air, what will happen? He will catch that type of disease. So the diseases that are spread through air are common cold, influenza or flu we say. This is also a type of fever, and chickenpox, you know. Chickenpox, if one gets in the classroom, what will happen? It will spread to other children also. So this chickenpox is a viral infection. Nowadays we are facing the situation of COVID-19, isn't it? So you are asked not to touch anyone because this is spreading from human to human. That is why this lockdown. You have asked to stay at home, isn't it? So you are asked to maintain a distance of 6 feet at least. Person to person distance. You should not come very close to one another. That is called as social distancing. And you are asked to cover your mouth and nose with a mask. And whenever you sneeze in a tissue and dispose that one in a covered dustbin. So in that way, we are asked to do. So here also, through air, when we cough or sneeze, the disease-causing germs, they spread out into the air, and if a healthy person takes that type of air, he will be infected by these germs. So the how are the diseases transmitted by animals and insects? Let us learn from animals and insects. Animals and insects. Now, what happens here? Now, in animals and insects, what happens is some insects transmit disease causing germs. That is, they bite a healthy person and they bite. They bite a person who is suffering from that disease, and if they bite a healthy person, they will transmit that type of germ. For example, mosquitoes. Malaria is a disease that is transmitted by a mosquito. Because if a mosquito bites a person who is suffering from malaria, and if the same mosquito bites another person who is a healthy person, and it will leave the germs into its body, and that person also gets that disease. So in this way, this is spread to the bite of a mosquito. Next, for example, you take rabies. How it is caused? This rabies is caused by the bite of animal. Bite of animals like dog, monkeys, So, these cause a disease called as rabies. So, bite of animals like dog and monkeys cause a disease known as rabies. In this way, these communicable diseases spread through food and water, through air, through animals and insects. Now, here are some diseases, their mode of transmission, some diseases, their mode of transmission, their symptoms, and how can they be prevented. We have learned in the tabular form about the non-communicable diseases. Now we will learn about the communicable diseases in this tabular form. So, we will learn about the diseases, some diseases, their symptoms, their mode of transmission, and the preventive measures. We will learn about the disease, we will learn about the symptoms, we will learn about the mode of transmission, and transmission, and the preventive measures, and we will learn about the preventive measures. Preventive measures we will learn. Now the first one we will learn, the communicable disease, the first one we will learn is typhoid. This disease is typhoid. What are its symptoms? The symptoms of this disease are fever and headache. Fever, headache. You get it. Now mode of transmission. What is the mode of transmission of this disease? Flies, contaminated food and water. Contaminated food and water. So what you must do to prevent this disease? This is a disease typhoid, which is the symptoms are fever and headache. You will mode of transmission. How this disease is transmitted? That is flies. Next, contaminated food and water. Next, practicing personal hygiene. Practicing personal hygiene. Personal hygiene means you have to keep yourself clean. Personal hygiene, good sanitation, you have to practice personal hygiene, good sanitation, and you have to drink boiled water. Drinking boiled water. If you are boiling the water, then what will happen, you know? You are killing the germs in it. So that is why if you boil the water and drinking, that water will not cause you any harm. So in that way, this is about the typhoid. It's a disease. It's a communicable disease with the symptoms are fever and headache. The mode of transmission is flies, contaminated food and water, and the preventive measures are you have to practice personal hygiene, good sanitation, drinking boiled water. Now let us learn about the other disease, that is second one is influenza. Now this is also a type of fever. Here you get headache. You have headache. Nasal discharge will be there. High fever, muscular pain will be there. nose discharge or acid discharge, you can say. Headache, muscular pain, in that way you will have, these are the symptoms of this disease, and it is transmitted through air. Through air. How this disease is transmitted? Through air. This is causing germ spread through air. Now we have to stay away from infected persons. Stay away from infected persons. You have to stay away from infected persons. So this is the preventive method or this preventive measure of this disease. Next, coming to cholera. Next disease is cholera. Let us learn about cholera now. Cholera is also a type of disease. Now, let us learn about cholera. Cholera is also a disease. The symptoms are watery stools. Watery stool, motions, loose motions you will have it. Watery stools, sunken eyes, deep eyes. Sunken eyes will go very deep fast when you have cholera, because you have to go for loose motions will be there. Number of times you go to the toilet. So when you are repeatedly going to the toilet or vomiting, what will happen? You will have vomitings also here. So continuously when you are going to the toilet number of times, you are vomiting number of times, what is happening? Your body salts will go away. That is why you are asked to drink ORS solution, oral rehydration solution, isn't it? So your body has to replenish, has to replace all the salts that are gone out. That is why they use ORS, isn't it? So here also your eyes go deep, sunken eyes, isn't it? So these are the symptoms of cholera, and mode of transmission is flies, contaminated food and water. Here also it is flies, contaminated food and water. Food and water. Here also personal hygiene. You have to practice personal hygiene, same as the first one. Personal hygiene you have to practice. You have to maintain good sanitation, and you have to drink boiled water. So in that way, this is about the cholera. Now let us talk about the malaria. Now let us talk about malaria. Now malaria is also a disease that is spread through insects, mosquito bite, isn't it? So malaria. Here also you get fever. You get fever and headache will be there. Muscular pain will be there. Fever, headache, muscular pain. Headache and muscular pain. You get muscular pain. And next one is muscular pain. Fever, headache, muscular pain, and it is spread to the bite of a mosquito. Bite of mosquito. So what you must do to avoid the bite of mosquito? You must use preventive measures in Nikra. You have to use repellent, mosquito repellents or mosquito nets when you are sleeping. Mosquito repellents, you know what are mosquito repellents? You use all out to good night in your houses, no? Those are called as mosquito repellents. Moreover, you have mosquito coils also. You lit the coil, lot of smoke comes out, isn't it? So that will keep the mosquitoes away. The same way you have to use mosquito repellents, and you can use mosquito nets in order to keep your body safe from the bite of mosquito. So you can prevent malarial fever like this. Now these are the diseases. Now in order to prevent these communicable diseases, we have to take some steps, isn't it? We have to follow some steps. We have to follow some steps to prevent the bite, prevent these communicable diseases. What we must do? To prevent communicable diseases, there are some measures to be followed. Measures to be followed. Measures to be followed to prevent communicable diseases. To prevent communicable diseases. Now what are the measures you must take? You have to take some measures to prevent communicable diseases. Now what are those measures here? Now that your house must be kept clean. House must be kept clean. It should have good ventilation. Should have good ventilation. ventilation. A good ventilation means your house must have a lot of sunlight must enter into your house, isn't it? Your house must have a lot of ventilation. A good amount of sunlight must enter into your house. That is the first point that you must follow. Next is you must water should be boiled. Water should be boiled and kept covered. You should boil the water and you should keep the water covered. It must always be covered. And next, the food you eat must also be covered. And you should not eat stale food. Should not eat stale food. Rotten food. Rotten in the sense, night if you are keeping it, storing in refrigerator and next day morning you are eating, it's okay. But 2-3 days by keeping like that, you don't eat that type of food, isn't it? That will cause you harm. So in that way, house must be kept clean. It must have proper ventilation and good amount of sunlight must enter into your house. Next is, water should be boiled and should be kept covered always. Food also must be kept covered. Food also must be kept covered and you should not eat the stale food. Now, in villages, what you must do is, what happens? The well water must be chlorinated regularly. In villages, well water. People in villages mostly they draw water from the well, right? So that water must be in villages. Well water must be chlorinated. Must be chlorinated. Chlorine must be added. It's a chemical that will kill the germs. So it must be chlorinated. Now, next thing is water must not be allowed to stagnate. Water must not be allowed to stagnate. Allowed to stagnate because stagnant water causes the mosquitoes lay eggs in the standing water. Stagnant waters are there, mosquitoes will lay eggs in that and the mosquitoes will breed. There will be lots and lots of mosquitoes all around. So, water should not be allowed to stagnate. Next is we must drink. If you are drinking milk, if you are small children, no, you are still small children, you drink milk, right? Because milk is required by your body. When you are drinking milk, drink pasteurized milk. Drink pasteurized milk. Pasteurized milk means boil the milk, you bring it. Directly if you go to your dairy and bring the milk, don't directly pour in a glass and drink it. No, boil the milk. First of all, you have to boil the milk, then only you have to take the milk. Next is, we should not use utensils, towels, handkerchief and any other thing of a person who is suffering from a disease, which is suffering from a particular disease. You should not use these things because they may cause you infection. That is why you should not use. These are the preventive measures, right? So this is also a preventive measure. You should not use the utensils or the handkerchief or the towels of the people who are suffering from the disease. You must be away from that. Now, the most important thing is you must stay home when you are sick. You stay home when you are sick. For example, if you have chicken pox, what do? You stay home. For many days you are asked to stay home, isn't it? Until you are completely cured, you don't come to school, right? So it is a viral infection, it will spread to other children. So you keep yourself at home. The next one, what you must do is, you have to use, next one is, what you should do is, you should wash your hands before and after meals. You must wash your hands before and after meals and also wash hands after using the toilet. Is that clear? You must also wash your hands after using the toilet. You must wash your hands. So, in order to prevent the spread of disease causing germs. So, this is about the preventive measures to be followed for the prevention of communicable diseases. Now let us learn about one more thing, that is vaccination. What is vaccination? Vaccination is nothing but it is a treatment given so that your body becomes strong to fight a disease. It is a treatment to make your body stronger to fight a particular type of disease. So in that case, first vaccination was the method of vaccination, and the first vaccination was developed by Edward Jenner to fight a disease known as smallpox, which was very deadly at that time. It was given to fight a disease, smallpox. So in that way, vaccination is given to fight, to make your body strong to fight any particular type of disease. So after that, vaccines have been given for many other diseases. After the invention of vaccination by Edward Jenner to treat a disease, smallpox, which was very deadly, it was killing many people at that time. Now see COVID, how it is killing so many people. They haven't got a vaccine for it still now. That is why the whole world is suffering. So when will the vaccine come, and when we will all be relieved from this deadly disease? So at that time, smallpox was also a deadly disease, and Edward Jenner invented the vaccine for it. After that, many vaccines came, and this treatment, many diseases were treated through this vaccine. For example, now you see when you are small children, you will be given number of vaccines. They have a vaccination card. You people will be having one vaccination card. Ask your mother to show you that card. 1 year, 6 months, 1 dose, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, booster doses. In that way, the whole schedule will be written in that. Accordingly, you will be vaccinated. So in the same way, these vaccines are given to small children. These vaccines are given to the children to prevent from many types of diseases. For example, polio vaccine. Oral polio vaccine is given. They give drops through your mouth. So our government was holding pulse polio campaigns, isn't it? They held pulse polio campaign every year, twice a year, to eradicate polio from the society. They wanted to completely wipe out. WHO was also helping to wipe out this polio totally from the world. So it has been eradicated from India. Nowadays you see we don't find any polio cases in our country. Even though we find it 1 or 2, they will be vaccinated and they will be cured. So in that way, vaccine is used to fight a particular type of disease here. So in that way, vaccine is nothing but they will give you some type of weak germs. They will introduce weak germs in your body. For example, you take polio. Polio vaccine they are giving you, that means they are injecting or giving you some weak germs. So what will happen when they introduce weak germs into your body will become active and it will produce antibodies. That means to fight that disease, it will develop antibodies. So now it will be able, because those are weak germs, it will be able to fight. So again, if a disease causing germ enters your body is already having antibodies to fight, soldiers inside to fight. So they will be able to fight that disease and you will not get that disease. But now COVID situation, our body is not having antibodies to fight that virus. That is why we are getting attacked. So if a person who is having COVID-19 positive is there, he has recovered from that disease. Then again if he is attacked by that disease, he will not get it because his body has already produced antibodies to fight that disease. Do you understand? So that is vaccine. Vaccine will protect you to fight many types of diseases and they are given from you in the childhood so that you will be able to fight many diseases. So in that way, we are completing this lesson by the last topic, vaccination of this lesson. So in this way, we have completed our lesson, food, health and hygiene. So you go through this video number of times so that if you have any doubt, it will be clear. Till then, we will meet you in the next class. Bye children.